Hey guys and gals, Never here for Drake Wing Gaming. It's talking about Twitter the Gaming Drag today. I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Masquerade in the Woods, and this time we're going down Shepard's path, the Cipher. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm, chain, you are up, and let's go. Let's see what we got. Okay, the Cipher. Alright. Finding a cipher in the basement of a kidnapper doesn't exactly spell irrelevant. If we can crack it, it has to hold some information on what's going on. Shepard nods, his eyes displaying deep thought. If we can crack it. Oh, goodness, jeez. Oh, I think I cracked it. Hyena closes his eyes, taking a deep breath. If Wright were here, he'd have it beat in no time. As he opens them again, his gaze falls on me with a strong determination behind it. Let's focus our efforts on cracking that cipher. Ink and Giant can keep investigating the leads in the meantime. There's sure to be more to all this than we know. I nod. Sounds like a plan. Now then. He lifts his paw and knocks on the wooden table before picking up his glass. I follow, grabbing mine too. Let the sun set. I rack my brain to remember the toast from last night. And tomorrow, Shepard helps. And tomorrow never come. Good lad. And if the sun rises, may our names be forgotten, but our actions forever remembered. To death. To death? Death to beasts with the faces of men who prey on the weak. To death. The hyena sighs, flicking his head towards the hallway we came in through. Now, go clean yourself up before the food arrives. You look like shit, he says with a smirk. What? That's a paw in my greasy hair. Oh, right. I'll be right back. Alright, so I am going to skip this. Oh. I think, yeah. Alright, 1 second, y'all. I shall be right back. Alright, y'all, and we are back. We have gone through all the filler, so here we are. Alright. You look just like him, Tiny. I look at him, and he looks at me. Except your eyes. For a moment, we just gaze into each other's eyes. His somber expression emphasizes the rugged features in his face. His untrimmed fur, the lines beneath his large crimson eyes, the long scar down his muzzle. He's tired. He closes his eyes, turning his head. When I saw you with that piece of glass in your paw, he thought of him. I miss him. So much, all the time. Not a goddamn day goes by that I don't regret not going with him. For the first time, I hear his voice waver from its usual stoic tone. He sounds heartbroken? Hurt? Vulnerable. I couldn't bear watching him. You do that to yourself. I need you. I need your help finding him. I lift my arm, just barely making out the old scars beneath the coat of fur. I'm not some battle-hardened vigilante, Shepard. None of us are. We're not vigilantes or heroes or soldiers. We're all just doing our best. You seem pretty battle-hardened to me. Different battles, different loyalties. Not all of them physical. By that standard, we're all seasoned veterans. He carefully wraps his digits around my forearm, his large thumb gently moving through the fur. Even you. Not all scars are carried beneath the fur, Tiny. Alright. What are you doing? River rummages through the different metal drawers I can only imagine are supposed to be used for tools, now stuffed with a small pharmacy. Prepping. I'm about to ask what for, but she elaborates before I get the chance. In case they're hurt. Oh. God, we just left them. We could have helped. We should have helped. I slide down the cold pillar, pulling my knees close to my chest. I shouldn't have run in the first place. It's like, water time. There we go. Okay, water. I sure do hope Polar Knight returns soon. I love that game. Oh, Psychic Connections as well. My god, I've been waiting a long time. If I just stayed, none of this would have happened. What if they're hurt? River stops her search and turns to me. Just in case. I nod. Right, just in case. I lean back against the concrete pillar, rolling my shoulder. Doesn't hurt so bad after whatever River gave me. I didn't really stop to ask what it was before I took it, but it's helping, that's for sure. I lift my arm, carefully untangling it from the makeshift sling she fashioned in the forest, and roll my wrist. Feeling my stomach growl, I put my paw over it. I'm really hungry. I can barely remember the last time I ate. Must have been that grilled cheese at Lucas's place. Maybe we can get something once they're back. I'd be surprised if they're not hungry too. The rabbit lets out a frustrated sigh, crossing the room to Mason's workbench, passing the thick metal door at the end of the long hall. I swear, if that possum stole my stuff again, she mumbles under her breath. I lift my finger towards a slab of steel. What's in there? She shoots it a quick glance, shrugging. Armory. She turns back to the workbench, and whatever else Shepard keeps hidden away. The steel door hangs heavy on the hinges, a stark contrast to the beige stone surrounding it. What else is he keeping there? Fuck if I know, feel free to ask him yourself. I feel my stomach sink a little. He already thinks I'm hiding things. Inquiring about his secrets might just seem more suspicious. I'd rather not. Well, in that case, it comes down to whether or not you trust that he isn't keeping some weird shit back there. I don't know if I trust him to begin with. Not after what he pulled back at the bar. River scans the table with a sigh. Reluctantly, I mustered the courage to ask. What happened between you and him? River shrugs her shoulders nonchalantly, but judging by the way her head falls ever so slightly, she cares more than she'd like to let on. Ludwig happened. Even while only seeing the back of her head, her demeanor seems to change. Strolled into his life out of nowhere and completely changed him. Why'd you stick around? I didn't, she hisses. But then Lou joined their group. She takes another deep breath and shakes her head, signaling the end of the conversation as her snow paw runs through her hair. I decide to change the subject, rather staying on her good side after tonight. What are you looking for? Stapler, she calls out, bending down to look through the stuff. Stapler? I stand up, rotating around the pillar, back still pressed to the rough surface. Oh, like a medical stapler? Yeah, Mason likes to borrow my shit for his arts and crafts. She lifts her paw out of the drawer, a white plastic stapler raised, without returning it. She walks back over, placing it among the rest of the supplies she's gathered. Bandages, scissors, what looks like a plastic tube attached to a Velcro strap. She suddenly stops, lifting her head up with a blank stare. Her ear twitches, turning towards the open door. Her head quickly follows. What? I dart my eyes between the doorway and the rabbit. What is it? She hurriedly makes her way towards the entrance, swiping a scalpel off the stretcher. Someone's here. She grips the metal blade, edge down, getting by the column closest to the entrance. I follow her, getting behind the one opposite and looking out into the dark forest. Is it them? Oh god, I need to change my position. Oh god, I got a muscle in my back spasming right now. Oh god, that hurts. Oh, I don't know. I strain my ears, trying to hear whatever she's hearing. So, you know, water time. But all I hear is the sound of the wind moving through the trees and an owl in the distance. Almost there now, big guy. We look at each other before both rushing for the door. River slides a scalpel in the back of her pants as we jog down the gravel path to the road. And just as we reach it, two figures stumble out of the woods. Mason staggers forward, his mask buckled to his belt. Over his shoulders hangs the other arms of the big dog, practically carrying Lucas on his back. The canine's head hangs low over Mason's side, the mask askew on his face but still attached. They're both covered in blood. Fucking hell! Mason stumbles through the ditch, supporting himself on his free arm. We hurry over to meet them on the road. Sup, guys? Mason greets us with a heavy pant. River and I lift Lucas's arms off of him and onto our shoulders instead. How bad is it? Mason leans down with his paws on his knees, breathing heavily. His flattened backpack slides down his shoulder and hits the ground with a thud. We're alive, aren't we? By the look of Lucas, it's almost hard to believe. We hurriedly carry him inside to the stretcher, relieved to hear the big dog's heavy breaths in my ear, despite the overwhelming metallic smell coming off of him. At least he's breathing. Mason limps up the path behind us. Removing his jacket, we lay the big dog down on the makeshift bed. River is quick to lift his head and unbuckle his mask, but part of me wishes she hadn't. It comes away sticky, revealing the mess beneath. Oh, fuck! His muzzle is covered in smeared, half-dried blood, his normally cream-colored fur stained a dark red. His mouth is slightly agape, and despite the makeup, it's clear his left eye is badly bruised and swollen. Fuck! Fuck! She turns away for a second before quickly coming back around. What the fuck took you so long? River asks the possum as she begins running her paws along Lucas's body. When she reaches his chest, he lets out a low moan, tilting his head to the side. You think carrying all that through the woods is easy? Plus, had to make sure we weren't followed. He lets out a groan as he drops down onto the couch, having pulled a chair with him to put his leg up. God, he's hurt too, isn't he? We'll have to get him to a hospital. Cody, cut his shirt. God, my arm is really cramping up right now. Oof. Alright. Fuck. This is all my fault. I did this. Fuck. Cody! She hands me a pair of scissors. Pull yourself together! I grab them, instinctively lining him up at the bottom of his stomach with shaky paws. No, at the seam. Here. Shit, right. I nod, readjusting to where she points and begin cutting. River walks over to the drawers, opening and closing different ones in search of something. Shouldn't we get him to town as soon as possible? Better do what we can here first. You see that fucking monster of a dog? Fuck, that mud could take a punch. Fucking lucky to be alive. Look over to the possum lounging back on the couch, realizing he must be talking about the snow-white canine. The one they called Benny. For some reason, I get the feeling I've heard that name before, but I can't place where. Yeah, someone shot him and he barely flinched. Mason nods, pulling his hip flask up from his pocket. Fucker didn't give a shit no matter how many hits we landed. Strong as a bull. Hit like a fucking train, too. Okay, water time. I finish cutting Lucas's shirt off, lifting it aside as River returns. Who shot him? We quickly switch positions, placing me by Lucas's head. Lucas, I think. It sounded like his rifle. She dumps the equipment she gathered on the stretcher between his legs. Must have been drugged out of his mind if he didn't flinch. She runs her paw through the fur on his stomach, showing the purple bruising hiding beneath his coat. The band-aid covering yesterday's knife wound is soaked red. She gets her fingers beneath the sticky tape, pulling it off, eliciting another soft moan from the canine. He tilts his head with a groan, throwing his big paw up and placing it on my chest. I quickly grab hold of his wrist to support it. Hey there, handsome. What? I blink, looking down at the big dog as his mouth curls into a small smile, his eyes fluttering open ever so slightly. River pushes me aside, leaning down over his face, sniffing his bruised muzzle. She pulls away, turning towards the possum on the couch with a cold, deadpan expression. He's drunk! Mason casually shrugs his shoulders, lowering the hip flask from his lips. You were carrying the oxy. She groans, pressing her palm to her forehead. And it didn't occur to you that alcohol thins your blood? River practically growls at the possum, who simply shoots a glance down at the flask in his paw. If he has a fucking concussion and you got him drunk, you're dead. Before turning back to the intoxicated canine. There wasn't even an oxy in my bag. I thought those things were supposed to be pre-packed. Blame Shep. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Also, y'all, if y'all can leave me some hints for the some hints or tips for the upcoming cipher I'm going to have to crack, that'd be much appreciated. Anyway, y'all, thanks so much for watching. I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!